from Woodway, Texas, Shelby Spivey. A junior from Eugene, Oregon, Kylie Reese. A junior from Westerville, Ohio, David Lanzador. And a sophomore from Denver, Colorado, Delaney Fields. The head coach of the Falcons is Sarah Jean Marshall, assisted by Katie Ann McMillan and Ellen Smith. The Seattle Pacific Falcons. It's time to meet your Oregon State gymnasts.
Jamie Law, Senior, Corvallis, Oregon. Christina Peterson, Sophomore, Seattle, Washington. Caitlin Yanish, Junior, Chandler, Arizona.
Lena Green, Junior, Taggart, Oregon.
Lacey Dagan, Senior, Pleasanton, California.
Jenna Domingo, Freshman, Kapolei, Hawaii. Maddie Dagan, Sophomore, Pleasanton, California.
Hallie Briscoe, Senior, Dallas, Texas.
Caleb Wood, Freshman, Chandler, Arizona.
Nia Mack, Junior, Memphis, Tennessee.
Sabrina Gill, Senior, Ontario, Canada.
Isis Lowry, Senior, Melbourne, Australia.
Destiny Davis, senior, Woodland, Washington.
Savannah Force, junior, Reno, Nevada.
Jane Ponawaz, freshman, Henderson, Nevada. Alyssa Minyard, senior, Golden, Colorado.
Colette Yamaoka, junior, Hollister, California. Lexi Gonzalez, junior, Newport Beach, California.
Mela Lazaro, senior, Aiea, Hawaii.
Alexa McClung, sophomore, Salem, Oregon.
And let's also welcome the Oregon State coaching staff, assistant coach Brian Amato, associate head coach Michael Chaplin, and the head coach of your Beavers in her 23rd season, Tanya Chaplin. Ladies and gentlemen, your Oregon State Beavers. All right, fans, for the first rotation, we will have Oregon State on vault, Seattle Pacific on uneven bars, and Centenary on the balance beam gymnasts. Your timed warm-up will begin in 2 minutes.
Good afternoon, and welcome back to Gill Coliseum for the 2020 gymnastics season. This is the first home meet of the season for the Beavs, and I know I'm quite excited about it. I'm Stephanie McGregor, and I'm joined today by another former Oregon State gymnast and 2017 All-American.
Hi, I'm Sylvia Kalusi-Pelayev, and I'm very excited to be joining you on the Beaver webcast today.
So Sylvia and I will be doing our best to provide some insight into today's first home meet of the season, and it's the Oregon State Beavers versus Seattle Pacific University Falcons and the Centenary Ladies.
So we're very excited for today's first home meet. We have Seattle Pacific University, SPU, that is a Division II program, and they're part of the Mountain Pacific Sports Federation. Last year in the 2019 season, their high was a 192.625. And this is their first meet with their head coach, Sarah Jean Marshall. She took over from Laurel Tyndall, who had 44 seasons with the SPU team.
Wow, 44 gymnastics seasons as head coach. That is something.
Yes, I saw a video of one of the girls, and she said it was quite a change after having a coach for so many years, but that they're very excited with their new coaching staff, which also includes their new assistant coach, Katie Anna McMillan. She's a former Oregon State All-American and Pac-12 Gymnast of the Year.
Yeah, you could tell when the announcer was announcing the coaching staff for SPU. The audience definitely recognized that name and had a big cheer for Katie Anna.
Yeah, I think the Beaver fans were very happy to see her again in Gill Coliseum.
Gymnast, your time warm-up begins now.
So a little bit more information about the Centenary Ladies. That school is in Shreveport, Louisiana, and Centenary is a Division III program, so it's a great opportunity for the ladies to be here in Gill and competing in front of Beaver Nation that just loves gymnastics. I know Sylvia and I can remember the days. There's just no feeling like that of competing here in Gill Coliseum. So It's their first time to Corvallis, and I'd say they're definitely in for a treat. Head coach for Centenary is Jackie Fain, and she's entering her 9th season. And the Centenary ladies compete in the Midwest Independent Conference, and last year they finished 5th in that conference at their championships.
So let's talk about the Beavers now. First home meet for them. Tanya and Michael, their 23rd season with the Beavers, and Brian Nato with his 7th season as assistant coach.
I know when I read that Brian was entering his 7th season already, I was like, oh, I've been out of the sport for a while now because Brian never coached me. So, yeah.
Yeah, Brian was new pretty much when I was new to the team.
Right.
So.
Yeah, it's crazy how time flies. And Beavers are still warming up here. All the teams in their 3-minute touch. So we'll chat a little bit about last season for the Beavs. I know last time I was in Gill Coliseum was for the regional championships hosted here in Corvallis. And oh my goodness, that was such a fun meet as a spectator. The Beavers managed to knock off the #1 seed Florida and qualify for the NCAA championship. And what was especially big about that is that 2019 was the first year that the NCAA championship changed. Previously 12 teams qualified, but with the change in rules, it was now only 8 teams. And so, you know, top 8 in the nation, that's a really big accomplishment. And I mean, top 12 in the nation is, but to then make that transition to having to be in the top 8 in order to move on, I know from an outsider's perspective, I was like, oh, this is going to be a tough one. But the Beavs managed to pull it off. They hit all their routines when it counted and moved on to NCAAs where they were on fire. They ended up finishing 6th. Until last year, the top 6 teams got to compete at the second day at NCAAs. So prior to the rule changes, they would have qualified for that elusive Super 6, but the rules changed. Now it's the top 4. What's the name of the top 4? Instead of Super 6, it's like Final Four.
Final Four, of course. Same as basketball.
Right, yeah. So didn't make it to that second day of competition at NCAAs last year, but of course that's what the goal is heading into this 2020 season.
What is a quote that you live by?
It's a Maya Angelou quote, and it's like a wait. Look at it.
What's a quote to live by?
It's a Maya Angelou quote, and it's my mission in life is not merely to survive, but to thrive, and to do so with some passion, some compassion, and some humor.
Wow. Why Open State?
Because I love the atmosphere here, and I loved how the coaches care about you as people and not just athletes.
What are you most looking forward to?
Getting to compete with my team and Gale for the first time.
We're very excited for that.
That was a fun video there, getting to know a little bit more about freshman Kayla Bird, and we will be seeing plenty of her today. She competed in the all-around last weekend for the Beavs, so looks to be a very strong freshman for the Beavs coming into this season. And from that 2019 NCAA championship, the Beavs are returning 17 of the 24 routines. So we'll be seeing new athletes out there like Kayla, as well as athletes that we recognize from previous seasons. And we can see Kayla is getting ready to compete on the vault for the Beavs. So she's just waiting for the judges to give her the go-ahead. And I see the green flag. And Kayla's headed down the runway for her first competition routine in Gill. Nice Yurchenko full. We'll be seeing quite a lot of the Yurchenko entry style vaults from the Beavs today. I would say, you know, good solid vault. Quick replay on that here. nice amplitude. She does have to pike down a little bit in order to get that landing, and then the small hop as well will be a deduction. But not too bad for first routine in Gill. And over on bars, Sienna Brain is mid-routine. Unfortunately, we missed Sienna Brain's routine there. But looks like her teammates are happy with her performance. And over on beam for the Centenary ladies, this is Jerica Harris. Leading off on beam is an especially difficult thing to do. I mean, I can't personally speak to that because, we're back on vaults. And
that was Christina Pearson for the Beeves on vault. Great vault for the Beeves. See if we have a replay here. She did take quite a large step on the landing.
Like 3 steps. So that will be a big deduction on the landing, yes. Unfortunately.
Next up on bars for SPU is Delaney Fields. She's a sophomore. Oh, sorry, that is Cielo Mangsanide on bars, my bad.
A little short on that first high bar handstand, but into a really nice release move. So that's the required release move that every gymnast has to perform on the bars. So the judges here are really looking to, are you meeting the requirements and are you hitting those handstands? And we're seeing that Cielo is a bit short on those handstands, so that'll be a deduction. But nice to see a strong hit routine from SPU.
Next up for the Beeves here on vault is Lexi Gonzalez. She saluted the judges and getting ready to run down the runway. Nice Yurchenko full from Lexi. A little short there, a step forward on the landing, but great vault in the air. Lexi has worked really hard to get into that lineup for the Bees. We're going to see more of her this season than we have in the past, so that's definitely really great to see when you see these athletes working really hard and making the lineups for the Bees.
Absolutely. Yeah, like Sylv's saying, it's when you see someone who in the gym has been working really hard to try and crack that lineup, they're getting a spot to exhibition, but then finally making it into the competition lineup. That's really big for both the team and the athlete.
All right, we're still waiting here for judges to get some scores in.
And on bars for SPU, this is Shelby Spivey. Nice release there into immediate overshoot. Closer on that high bar handstand. A little bit of form break there on her giant full into immediate double tuck. So SPU is doing a nice job of hitting those bar routines, but there are the details that they'll be looking to clean up. And that's Caitlin Yanish with a big Yurchenko full. We did not see her have to pike down or take that hop forwards.
Beautiful vault for Caitlin Yanish. She just has so much power going into that vault and in the air. Her form is beautiful. Great landing, great vault for the Beeves.
She has so much power, she's almost able to flare it out before dropping in for that landing.
Usually we do see her sort of flare it out, which only really we see the best vaulters doing that in the air. This is Kendall Huff on the balance beam for Centenary College. Starting off on beam is always tough for a team, and so far we're seeing a good job from this team.
And Kendall is a freshman from Riviera, Texas. And unlike the Beavers, SPU and Centenary didn't compete last weekend, so this will be her first NCAA routine. Hopping back over to vault.
This is Maddie Dagan on the vault. Great vault again for the Beavs. A step there on the landing, but again, very powerful vault. And back to the bars for SPU. This is Darian Burns. Great release there, connected to a low bar transition.
And Darian has been such a powerhouse for SPU. As a matter of fact, last year at the USA Gymnastics Nationals, she came first in the all-around.
Looks like that's a 9-8 on vault for Maddie. Solid score for the Beavs. Next up is Lacey Dagan, the two sisters back-to-back on vault. Beautiful vault for Lacey. Just a little hop there on the landing, but again, beautiful vault in the air. You can see she's perfectly straight in the air. Didn't really have to pike down for the landing.
Yeah, really pretty vault. But every hop or step we see, that's a 10th that the judges can take, and it adds up quickly. So, you know, those hops, I think Michael will be okay. Vault coach Michael Chaplin will be okay with those for this early in the season, but as we progress through season, the Beavs will need to be dialing in those landings more.
Yeah, I think for the first meet, you know, these are some great vaults we're seeing, but definitely in the gym every day, these girls are working on their sticks because every 10th counts, and you know, a big step or a big hop is really a pretty big deduction. So you'll start to see more and more throughout the season the teams are working on their sticks.
And on bars for SPU, this is Miyuki Matsune.
Oh, little break there.
So that's not a fall, but the judges can take a pretty big deduction for that break. And that is Mia Mack in exhibition for the Beavs. So each team puts up 6 athletes with 5 scores counting towards the team total, but they have an option to have an athlete get some competition experience without counting towards the team score in the exhibition spot. So they perform at the end of the rotation after the anchor.
And third up on beam here for Centenary College is Kennedy Stevens. Just waiting for the go-ahead from the judges.
Looks like the beam judges are being a little bit slow today. I mean, vault always gets done faster, but. And Kennedy is another freshman for Centenary.
Centenary actually has 8 freshmen on their team this year. Oh, and that's a fall on her front aerial. A lot of these freshmen on this team, it's their very first time competing in a big stadium like Gill Coliseum, so we will see some jitters from them. Beautiful leap series. This team is pretty young with their 8 freshmen, and they only have 2 seniors this year, so they're definitely in rebuilding with some new girls, and a lot of them are brand new to this sort of competition.
Kennedy has done a good job here recovering from that fall in her front aerial.
Good back handspring layout, little bit of a bobble. For these gymnasts after a fall, sometimes it's hard to get back up and be steady, but she's doing a great job here.
And for SPU, Doreen Coons finished up her routine as the anchor over on bars.
And Corinne is also a freshman. Corinne and Sydney are twin sisters, both freshmen on the SPU team this year. Replay there on the dismount, little step back, but good finish for Kennedy. The Beeves are all done with their first rotation on vault, getting their grips on, getting ready for bars. But we still have a few girls left on beam and an exhibition on bars. Beam is going a little slower. We're only halfway through their rotation.
Yeah, and looking at the lineups, the teams are opting to use that exhibition spot quite a bit this meet, having as many athletes as possible get competition experience. So we'll run a little bit longer than your typical length of a meet.
However, in this meet, since there are 3 teams, we have all events going all at once. So that does sometimes save some time. Next up on beam, we have Zian Baumgartner. Zian is a sophomore on the Centenary team.
Over in bars in exhibition, this is Jadeci Durst. Low chest there on her dismount, so the judges want to see those dismounts not only stuck, but also the chest in a fully upright position, so she'll get the deduction for the low chest as well as the step forward.
Back to the beam, this is Zian. She'll be competing in 3 events tonight. Gearing up for her series. Beautiful series, double back handspring to a back layout step out. Full turn. Unique front roll.
That looks like that would be harder than it's
Looks like it would hurt your back a little bit.
Interesting though.
Having done a front roll on the beam before.
Yeah.
But definitely a unique move to add in. And an illusion.
Wow.
Oh.
Shoot. Yeah, it's always fun seeing, often we get to watch the Beavs compete against the other Pac-12 teams and get to know those routines. It's always fun to see other schools that have more unique skills that, like, oh, that was interesting.
Yeah, good finish there for Zian. Fall on the illusion. She did bring quite a few unique elements into her beam routine, like Steph was saying. That's really nice to see when gymnasts bringing unique elements to their routines. Little hop there on the dismount. We just have a few gymnasts left on the beam for this rotation. Again, the Beavs are finished with their vault rotation, getting ready for bars. SPU has just finished up on the bars. They'll be moving to balance beam.
And it's nice to see head coach Tanya Chaplin back out on the competition floor. I heard that Tanya didn't travel last weekend to the Beavs' first meet in Florida due to health concerns. So happy to see her out there being the awesome head coach that she is.
Yeah, and last weekend the Beavs were in Florida and they competed against Georgia, Iowa, and Bridgeport at the Critique Classic in Florida. They finished with a 194.45, came second to Georgia. And like we said, freshman Kayla Bird did compete in all 4 events. She competed in the all-around for the first time, did a great job there for the Beavs. Sabrina Gill won the uneven bars with a 9.8, I believe.
Yeah, the 194.45, I mean, it is first meet of the season, but also, oh, it's kind of low.
It's a little bit low, but again, we hope the Bees will be, every meet they'll be sort of trying to improve on that score.
And on beam for the Centenary ladies, this is Camille Bea Austin. Again, nice triple series. Oh, wasn't able to quite hold for the finish there on the back layout, but more unique element with the 2 back handsprings into a back layout.
She is one of the 2 seniors on their team this year. So she's one of their more experienced athletes on this team.
Camille is from Memphis, Tennessee. There's the required full turn element.
And it looks like she will be competing in the all-around tonight, so we will be seeing her on every event tonight.
What do you think of the Centenary C
tattoo on their
calf?
leg?
Yeah.
I was actually going to say something about that. I noticed that the last girl. Good finish there for Camille.
Solid beam routine.
Solid routine, that one bobble, but really great to go up after a couple falls for their team. Yeah, I was going to say something about the tattoo on the leg. Most teams, we see them put a small tattoo on the side of their face.
The cheek.
On their cheek, so the tattoo on the leg is definitely unusual.
I'm trying to decide. I feel like it kind of like takes away from the gymnast line a little bit. I don't know.
It is a pretty large tattoo.
Yeah, it's pretty large.
All right.
I really do like their Leos, though. Their Leos are really pretty.
Yes, very pretty. Last gymnast here, anchoring for the ladies on beam, Kendall Sanders. And she is a sophomore from Spring Branch, Texas.
And Kendall is majoring in biology. I noticed that
there's a lot of girls on their team majoring in biology.
Yeah, I went to the Centenary, the school itself website, and like right on the front of their website, it was talking about their really high acceptance into med school.
Oh,
so I was wondering
awesome.
if it's like a smaller school that, like 3/4 of their team majors in biology. So. Nice sharp choreography from Kendall there, getting ready for her acro series. Back handspring, back layout. Oh yeah, she's off. She did look crooked on that series. I would have been impressed if she stayed on the beam.
Yeah, sometimes when the first back handspring is a little crooked, it's very difficult to save the connection, the layout at the end. Beautiful jumps there. She does have some really nice dance in this routine. Again, for Kendall, this is her first time competing for the team as a freshman. And it's a difficult position to be the anchor on beam.
Yeah, that's very impressive to be anchoring beam as a freshman.
Oh, sorry, she's a sophomore.
Well, it's still fairly impressive.
There's 2 Kendalls, and the next Kendall is exhibitioning. And I believe she's also a sophomore. Both sophomores, both named Kendall.
Oh. I wonder what their nicknames are.
Nice finish there. It's the last routine for the ladies on the balance beam, and they do have 1 exhibition left. Last routine of this rotation.
Kendall's routine was very clean and pretty, aside from that fall.
Yeah. She did have some nice lines.
You can see why she was in the anchor spot. Getting some last-minute advice from Coach Jackie Fain. This is Kendall Knaps. Kendall is a sophomore for the ladies, as Sylvia mentioned. And she is a non-biology major. She's majoring in communications. This has been a bit of a wait for the Beavs and SPU. It's almost as if they're on a bye here, waiting for the beam rotation to finish up.
Yeah, it does seem that the beam has been moving pretty slowly tonight, but Kendall just got the salute from the judges and is up on the beam. Stayed on there on the series. It's great hearing her team cheering her on. You can hear that they're pretty loud, being the last girl going, competing right now in the arena. Ball there on the jumps.
Looks like she could have fought a little bit harder for that one to stay on the beam. But could be, I think maybe her chest was quite low. Couldn't quite tell from this angle. Like we said before, this is a great experience. I mean, first meet of the season, and you're competing in front of several thousand people at least in Gill Coliseum. And when you're the only routine going, well, you know everyone's watching you.
Yep. Good finish there on the dismount and end of the first rotation here in Gill Coliseum.
Another look at Kendall's dismount. And with that, the athletes are rotating to their next event. So it'll be Oregon State on bars, Seattle Pacific on beam, and Centenary College on the floor. And for the Beavs, we'll get to see Alyssa Minyard back for the first time. She was out all last season from season-ending injury, so I'm sure she's excited to be competing in Gill once again.
Yeah, she had a torn Achilles.
Yeah, those are no fun.
Yeah, she was just recovering all of last season, so she sat out last season, getting ready to be back for the Beavs this year.
Yeah,
and she is a senior this year, I believe.
Did she redshirt last year?
I believe that she decided not to because she does want to go to med school, and so she doesn't want to take an extra fifth year. I'm not 100% on that, but I believe last time I spoke to her, she thought about it, but I'm not sure that she's going to be doing a fifth year. She could because she redshirted, but taking that extra year and being able to go to med school is part of her plan. So.
I did do the fifth year after an Achilles tear, and
oh right, you did.
Yeah, I did. Yes, I did, and wouldn't have traded it for anything. So as the gymnasts get going on their 3-minute touch warm-up, we have some scores for you. So for the Beavs, Kayla Bird ended up with a 9.7 as the leadoff performer on vault. Christina Peterson, 9.675. Christina had that.
She had quite a few steps on her vault.
I mean, super interesting in that it wasn't the traditional Yurchenko.
It's not.
What's the name of it was Yurchenko with a full twist before her hands touched the table. But of course, with the 3 steps, the 9.675 is in the range that I would expect. Lexi Gonzalez, 9.65. Caitlin Yanish, 9.85. So the judges did reward her for the beautiful form in the air. Maddie Dagan, 9.8, and Lacey Dagan agreeing with a 9.825. So that gives the Beeves a 48.85 after the first rotation. I mean, first meet of the season, but really, the Beeves are going to want to be 49.0 and above. Yeah. Traditionally, vault has been one of the weaker events for the Beeves, but still want to be at least hitting that 49 mark.
Yeah, and with vault, actually, I think most of these vaults tonight had a 9.95 start and not a 10.0 start. So that is a reason why sometimes we will see a little bit lower scores on vault.
Yeah, so that the Yurchenko full twist that we saw a lot of, as Sel was saying, is only a 9.95 start. You have to add an extra half twist and do the Yurchenko 1.5 to get that perfect 10 start value.
I know a lot of the girls in the gym are working on these 10.0 vaults, but they're not. Sometimes you don't want to risk it on the hard landing in the meeting. They sometimes wait till the end of the season until they're more ready to compete that 10.0 vault.
Yep. Yeah, keep training that 10.0 and then pull it out at the end of season when it really counts.
Still warming up here in Gill Coliseum.
And we can run through some more scores. So on bars for SPU, Sienna Breen led off with a 9.65. And then Ciela Megzanidi with a 9.575. Shelby Spivey, 9.625. Darian Burns, 9.725. Miyuki Matsune, 9.175. Just trying to remember, she had that fall. She fall? No, she just
she
like
had
stopped.
That break. She stopped on the low bar.
Yeah, so she
which
probably
was a big deduction.
Yeah, she probably like lost the value of the skill as well. And Corinne Coons with a 9.5. So on bars, first rotation, the Falcons with a 48.075.
And then Centenary on beam, Jessica Harris with a 9.15, Kendall Huff, 9.325, Kennedy Stevens with an 8.8, Zian with an 8.85, Cami Bea Austin with a 9.575, and Kendall Sanders with an 8.975. Quite a few falls there for this team. Total score of 45.875 for them on that first event.
And I think, first meet of this season, as we've been talking about, big arena like Gill, I think that nerves probably had something to do with that amount of falls, especially starting on beam. Jitters at the beginning of the meet. Well, beam is not a good place for the jitters.
Yeah, like we mentioned, beam is a difficult place to start, and normally in a dual meet, you don't ever have a team starting on beam until later on in postseason or conference meets where you have more teams competing. But since this is a tri meet, we do have a team that had to start on beam. Looks like last minute here, wrapping up the warm-up for all these 3 teams.
So for the Beeves on bars, in addition to seeing Alyssa Minyard's comeback from her Achilles tear, we'll also get the chance to see Kayla Bird perform in Gill for the first time. And
Jenna Domingo will be exhibitioning as well. It'll be her first time, freshman on the team.
And also Haley Briscoe, she was an All-American last season on the bars, so looking forward to her routine as well.
See the Beeves here getting ready for their first bar routines.
So as Sil was saying, we'll get to see both freshmen, 2 freshmen on bars today for the Beavs, and the 3rd freshman, Jane Paniwaz, she is injured and out for this season.
Yeah, we see her here on the floor. She's in a boot. So starting off for the Beavs here, we have Colette Yamaoka. Beautiful shaposh to overshoot. Colette has been starting off for the Beavs last season as well, and she's very strong in that first position. Giant full, double back dismount, just a small hop there. Solid routine for Colette. It's great seeing her in that leadoff position. Her freshman year, she did a lot of exhibitioning on bars, and now the past 2 years, she's been in that leadoff position almost every meet.
Over on beam for SPU, this is Kylie Reese. And Kylie is a Oregonian. She's from Eugene. I'm sure she has a ton of family and friends in the stands here this afternoon cheering her on.
I actually saw a video that SPU posted about this meet coming to Oregon State for their first meet. They did a little interview with her, and she was very excited to be in Gill here with the Beaver fans. She said she always came to watch Beaver Gym meets when she was young, since she lived so close. So she said she was going to have a lot of family and friends watching her, and that was a great start off for SPU.
Yeah, I also watched that interview. Kylie did a great job with it.
She did, yes.
On floor for Centenary College, this is Kendall Huff. Opening up with double tuck. Chest was low on the landing there, so that'll be deduction. Hopping back over to bars, where Alyssa Minyard is competing. Opened up with a nice Jaeger to immediate overshoot. Pretty high bar handstand.
Yeah.
And winding up for the dismount. Oh, almost had that stick, but not quite. But great performance after a year of being out with injury.
Replay here on that Jaeger. Beautiful connection to the overshoot. And again, a replay on the dismount. Small step, almost had it there on the landing.
Like the landing took her a little bit by surprise. Oh, there's the ground.
Again, this is Kendall Huff on floor, finishing up her last pass. Oh, little bit out of bounds there.
And over on beam for SPU is Lena Worth, the senior from Roseville, California. Oh, taking a replay here of Kendall's last pass where she did go out of bounds.
Looks like we're ready back on the bars. This is Isis Lowry. Also a senior on the team this year. Beautiful toe shaposh, connected to a pack. Oh, a fall there for Isis.
And Isis has been so consistent for the Beavs.
She has been very consistent. That is a little unusual to see. A beautiful stick there on the double layout dismount though.
Yeah,
great finish for Isis.
She made that double layout look easy.
A replay here on that dismount. Beautiful form and great stick. Lena just finishing her beam routine for SPU.
Caught out of the corner of my eye, Lena had a nice stick on her beam dismount. Getting ready to compete on floor for Centenary College. This is Jerica Harris.
She's a junior, and we saw her lead off on the beam. There's Coach Katiana giving some last-minute words to her gymnast before she goes up on the beam.
Back over on bars for the Beeves. This is freshman Kayla Bird. Nice high bar handstand. Toe on to overshoot. Looks like she was a little bit short on that overshoot to handstand. Back up for her high bar handstand. Ooh, a little short again. Nice stalder though. To a big, oh shoot.
Fell
Big
into
Tkachev,
there.
but didn't, yeah.
She'll get up and finish up with her dismount here for this bar routine.
Talking about unique skills, you don't see too many stallers in college gymnastics, so that was fun. Now looking
I
to
love
finish
that
strong.
skill though. I love seeing gymnasts do some stalders.
Oh. So not the bar routine that Kayla was looking for, but she'll head back to the gym and be ready for next week. Over on beam, this is Darian Burns. And Darian is now a senior. Oh, come on. Oh. And she's off on her back handspring back layout.
Seeing a lot of gymnasts fall on the series this afternoon.
And Darian will be competing in the all-around for SPU this afternoon. She actually holds the third highest all-around score in SPU school history. Nice front salto there, bit of a bobble on the landing. And her dismount, nice height on that. Looks like she kind of popped off from the beam.
Beautiful dismount there. Halfway done on the beam for SPU. Back to bars. Next up for the Beeves is Hallie Briscoe. Hallie is also a senior this year. The Beeves have a lot of seniors on their team this year.
I was looking at the list of seniors, and first I was like, oh, wow, there's 8 of them.
Yes.
Oh, my goodness. And then also the fact that, oh, those gymnasts are seniors already? Wow.
Yeah, that senior class they were freshmen when I was a senior on the team. So that's the last class that I competed with.
Yeah, and they have been a big contributing class for the Beeves. Entering the 2020 season, they had contributed 270 routines.
Wow.
So there'll be some big shoes to fill when they all graduate.
It's been great seeing that class grow over their years from freshmen and now they're seniors. Lots and lots of routines from these seniors you'll see this season. Still waiting here on the judges.
On beam for SPU, this is Alex Pierce.
Alex is a freshman, and she is from Saskatchewan.
Oh.
A Canadian, fellow Canadian.
Yay!
Beautiful series there. Front aerial connected to a back handspring.
Do you still know the Canadian gymnasts?
I don't know them as well anymore.
Yeah. A few years ago, I knew, like, if they were Canadian and they did college gymnastics, I knew them, but not anymore. Okay, and here's Hallie.
Beautiful handstand. Great routine so far for Hallie. Beautiful routine for Hallie. Little hop there on the dismount, but great routine, especially after a fall for the Beeves. Great to see her step up in that routine. And SPU seems very happy with that beam routine. It's a freshman, so first time again competing here on her team.
That's great, yeah. You can always count on the Canadians, of course. Yeah, nice stuck dismount there from Alex.
Next here on floor for the ladies, we have Kendall Knaps. We saw her exhibition on the beam.
And on bars for the beam, this is anchor Sabrina Gill. Nice Shapashnikova to immediate pack salto. Oh, high bar handstand
Short
struggle.
on that handstand.
Come on. So she wanted to do the pirouette immediately, but that handstand wasn't happening. Nice high bar handstand though. So Sabrina will look to finish strong here with a stuck dismount. Oh, almost.
Not her best routine, but she did save it. Just had to do an extra cast there. I grew up training with Sabrina. She's from my home gym in Oakville, Ontario. So I've known her my whole life, and now seeing her as a senior compete is great. I've trained with her my whole life, so I know her very well. Back on the beam for SPU, this is Miyuki Matsuni.
Looks like the beam judges are moving a lot quicker this rotation.
Yeah, now floor is going a little slower.
Solid full turn there from Miyuki. Oh, that was a nice combination dismount. Scissor leap to aerial cartwheel into aerial cartwheel and her tuck full dismount.
SPU seems really happy with that routine. Great stick there at the end. Replay here on the dismount. Back to the bars. This is freshman Jenna Domingo.
Oh, packed routine.
She does have some very difficult skills in the routine.
Whoa.
Very unique dismount. You don't see many girls doing that dismount.
Yeah, that was a fun bar routine.
Beeves are very happy with that exhibition.
Yeah.
Very strong routine for a freshman. A little replay here. And that is very difficult
hard.
combination.
Wow, holy smokes.
I saw her routine in Gill when they did their orange and black. And was very impressed. Great potential for the Beeves.
Yeah. Yeah, that combination.
It's a hard routine.
Dang.
Back to the beam for SPU. This is Kaylee Tran. Sixth gymnast up, anchoring for the team.
Kaylee is a sophomore, majoring in visual communication. Beautiful acro series there from Kaylee.
Looking very strong there on those leaps. Great routine so far. We've seen some pretty solid routines from SPU on beam. Beautiful for an aerial, very pretty
really nice
dance
routine.
too. the team there clapping along with her dance. Getting ready for her dismount. Small step forward on the dismount, but great routine. Great way to finish up their beam rotation, and they'll have one exhibition as well after this. Still have quite a few girls to get through floor though, only halfway through the lineup. Replay here from Kaylee's routine.
Sounds like the SPU team is happy with Kaylee's beam score. I don't see it up yet, but
Can't quite see the score from here, but we'll get those for you once we have them.
and starting her floor routine for the ladies, this is Jenny Jackson.
She's a junior from Florida.
And Jenny made an immediate impact when she joined the Centenary College team, competing in 12 meets as a freshman, opening with a double pike there. Nice and clean in the air, but will take a deduction on her landing, low chest and step. Right into her second pass, double tuck. Needs a little bit more rotation and air to complete both flips so that she can have her chest upright on the landing. Required leap elements there. Taking a bit of a breather here with her choreography before she heads into her final tumbling pass. 1.5 to front tuck.
Over on beam, Haven Lanthador just finished her exhibition routine.
Another look at Jenny's last pass there. 1.5 twist, 2 punch front.
So the Beavers are finished on the bars, SPU is finished on the beam, and now we just have a few more routines here for Centenary College on floor.
So still waiting for those judges on floor.
Next up
Next up will be Kendall Sanders.
We saw her anchoring on the beam.
Correction, this is Kendall Sanders on floor.
Uh-oh, sounds like the announcer got her name wrong. Usually it's us that messes up on the gymnast names. We got it right, though. And it was Kendall that had the really nice choreography on beam, so looking forward to seeing her floor routine here.
Great first pass there, a double pike.
Getting ready for her second tumbling pass. A Rudy, that's a front 1.5 twist. This is a fun floor routine.
Yeah, fun music, fun dance. Gearing up for that last tumbling pass.
Oh, didn't quite get the punch that she needed from the floor there on her front fold of punch front, unfortunately.
Kendall Sanders, angling floor for Centenary.
I think he got that wrong as well. I think we still have one more. She wasn't the anchor.
Yeah, no, she wasn't the anchor. Yeah.
It's funny sometimes seeing the replays and the faces people make when they're running for their tumbling passes.
Yeah. Also, some of that slow replay that, and luckily the judges don't get a slow replay. I know on
sometimes the form in the
yeah,
air.
Kendall's Rudy there, I noticed, oh, her legs are kind of doing a crossover there, which I didn't see as much during the actual tumbling pass.
Replay here of Sabrina's bar routine. Again, didn't quite get that cast the first time.
Oh, yay,
This
get
is
to watch that
Jenna's.
combo again. So she did Shaposhnikova to immediate clear hip to
a
toe
to
to
Kachev
to overshoot. Whoa.
Quite the connection there. Almost 4 elements connected in a row. You don't see that very often, at least in college gymnastics.
Yeah. Yeah, often you'll see like the one release into the overshoot, not 2 releases.
So we have one last floor routine and then an exhibition as well. So 2 more floor routines left.
For Centenary, this is Cami B. Austin.
If you didn't catch the announcer there, this is Cami B. Austin. And Cami has qualified on the floor as an individual for the USA Gymnastics Nationals. Nice opening double pike from her. That was unique there, so Cami did her second pass into a Shishinova, so eliminates the possibility of a landing deduction. And the gymnasts do a great job. You wouldn't know it watching their performances, but it is a cardio workout to get through a floor routine. That last pass, you're breathing hard, hoping that you have the fitness level to get that last pass around.
Yeah, the preseason involves lots of training to make sure you can land that last pass in your floor routine and have enough endurance to be able to do that.
Enough gas in the tank. And he's opening double pike again. Nicely done. And her last pass there. The judges will take that low chest deduction on her landing.
Setting up here the mats for exhibition routine for the ladies.
The gymnasts are allowed to use a mat on the floor for their tumbling passes. There's no deduction associated with that. And it'll be up to their teammates or managers to get that mat in and out, so it's not in the way of the gymnast as they move on after that tumbling pass.
Yeah, a lot of gymnasts choose to use a mat just to save their ankles, save their knees, a tiny bit of a softer landing on that floor, especially early on in the season.
You can see there the mat has the white boundary lines taped onto it, so if you go out, you still get that deduction for out of bounds.
Yeah, the mat's not saving you from a larger floor.
Right. And here's Leilani Johnson, a freshman for the ladies. Oh, this floor music makes me think of UCLA.
Quite a few steps there went out of bounds on that double back.
So that will be a significant deduction because every step plus the out of bounds. Second pass here for Leilani. Oh, just a layout there, so I don't know if that was planned, but not really difficult enough to meet the requirement for the floor routine. And could be that she's working on upgrading that second pass in the gym, but not ready to perform it in competition. Last pass there. Wasn't able to land that on her feet. 1.5 twist to front layout.
And that wraps up this rotation. Second rotation is complete. Moving on to the third rotation. The Bs will move to the balance beam. SPU will be moving to floor. And Centenary College will be moving to vault.
For the Beavs, there's been a lineup change, so we'll now get to see Jenna Domingo compete on beam. So now that the rotation is over, we have some scores here, and the Beavers bar score is kind of jumping out here. They'll be looking to improve on that 48.325 next week. So for the individual athletes, Colette Yamaoka, 9.725. Alyssa Minyard, 9.775. Isis Lowry with that very uncharacteristic fall, ended up with a 9.375. Kayla Bird also had some struggles in her routine, landed at 8.475. Haley Briscoe, nice routine, a 9.85. And Sabrina Gill with that extra cast handstand, 9.6. warm-up and then time on each event. Oh, let's listen to Destiny.
So my theme song is Carry On by Fun, and I chose it because it matches my MCs. Throughout my routine, I constantly tell myself to keep it moving, and I feel like the song reminds me to carry on no matter what happens.
I'm Mayla, and this is my B Music Explained. The song I chose for my B Music is Over the Rainbow by Iz. So back home, my club gym is called Rainbow Gymnastics Academy, and I just thought that it felt right to have that as my B music, and it helps me maintain calm coconut vibes throughout my whole beam routine.
Hi, I'm Lacey, and my beam song is No Stopping You by Brett Eldridge. And I chose this song because I've decided that after everything I've been through, there really is nothing that can stop me.
I'm Alyssa, and this is my beam song Explained. So my beam song is Fly by Maddie and Tay, and I chose it because it's a country song, and I really like country music. And also it kind of talks about climbing and overcoming obstacles, which I think is a really good depiction of my journey through college gymnastics.
Time now.
The alumni band. They're one of the many reasons that competing in Gale is so fun. Sylvia, what was your beam song and explanation? That was a fun video insight into why the athletes picked their.
My theme song was "Am I Wrong?" I didn't really have a good reason though. I liked the song, and I honestly could never really hear it when I was competing my beam routine. I know some of the athletes like having their beam song in Gill and can hear it, but I really tuned everything out when I was on the beam.
Okay.
So I didn't really have
They
a great
could have played
explanation.
anything and you wouldn't have known the difference, huh? That's fun. I know some of probably the same for you, but teammates that were on the team the same time as you, their beam songs, I guess, if they're popular songs that you still hear on the radio or whatever, I'm like, it always makes me think of that gymnast and their beam routine.
Yep.
Definitely an association there.
Especially a lot of girls who compete beam their 4 years and just have the same song for their whole career.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Getting ready to start off the third rotation here.
And here is Destiny Davis leading off for the Beavs on beam. Destiny struggled a little bit with some injuries last year. Didn't see her in the competition lineup quite as much. So great to see her back out competing in Gill. Really solid series there with her back tuck. Nice full split there to a ring jump. That ring jump is difficult because the gymnast has to throw their head back and actually lose sight of the beam, but still manage to land on it again without wobbling. Nice full turn. It's a great kick over front from Destiny. No hint of a wobble there. Getting ready for her dismount. And it's a stick. Great lead-off routine for the Beavs on beam. Another look at Destiny's dismount there. Nice work, Destiny. have a break here where all the rotations are waiting for the judges. There's Katie-Anna McMillan giving her SPU athlete, Jada, some last-minute advice before her floor routine. And here on vault, we're looking at Zian Baumgartner getting ready to compete. Well, looks like at this rate, the judges will all be done at the same time, and then all three rotations will compete.
Beam is
unfortunately.
just flashing scores now, so they should be ready to go soon. Up next on beam for the Beavs is Isis Lowry. Isis, like Destiny, is part of the big senior class this year.
And Isis is one of the athletes from that class that's really stepped out as a freshman and sophomore. Well, you'd know this better than me, Sil, but she only competed on floor, right? And then last year, we got to see her perform so consistently on 3 events.
Yeah, and that was a beautiful series she just did there. And yeah, that's correct. Isis only competed floor her first 2 years, and last year really stepped up, started competing on 3 events, and looks like we'll see her on 3 events again here tonight. Really solid beam routine so far. Beautiful side aerial.
Wow, gorgeous routine.
Beautiful stick. That was a great routine for the Beavs. Awesome job for Isis.
Yeah,
so the girls are really happy with that routine.
Yeah, the Beavs off to a great start on beam. Looks like they've done an excellent job of putting that bars performance behind them.
Yeah, that's really something that Tanya and the coaches really emphasize is, you leave one event behind and you move on to the next and you start fresh, because you really can't be taking anything bad from the past event with you on to the next one. So we're seeing a great start from the Beavs there.
Over on vault for the ladies, this is Jenny Jackson. Sounds like Beaver Nation is excited about Isis's
Looks like
score.
a 9.875.
9.87,
score.
Very solid, especially for second in the lineup.
Next up on vault here is Jenny Jackson. She's a junior on the team, also studying biology.
Yeah, and meanwhile on beam, freshman Jenna Domingo has mounted. Nice front aerial to back tuck.
I believe this may be her first time competing in the lineup. She exhibitioned last week and exhibitioned on bars, and now we're seeing her in the beam lineup.
That's exciting. Nicely done, full turn there. Oh, come on. So fairly big wobble on her front aerial there. Small hop on the dismount. But for first competition beam routine as a freshman, not too bad. can see Isis giving teammate Lacey Dagan some last-minute words of confidence. And beam judges are ready, so here goes Lacey. Lacey is a gorgeous beam worker. She struggled a little bit with consistency last season, so I'm sure she was working that during the off season, and so far off to a wonderful start. Getting ready for her acro series, back handspring back, come on, there we go, back handspring back layout. Oh, again in the beam limit, we'll have the Dagan sisters back to back. And her dismount, nice, stuck dismount. Well done, Lacey. And over on 4 for the Falcons is Kylie Reese. Another quick look at Lacey's dismount there. During Kylie's interview, she said that she had to take 2 weeks off from training over the Christmas break. And when you take 2 weeks off, I mean any time off of gymnastics practice, it feels like twice as long to get back. So impressive to see her already back in the lineup after having to take some time off due to injury. Nice 1.5 punch front from Kylie. Kylie is majoring in politics, philosophy, and economics, and her goal is to go to law school.
Good routine there for Kylie. Solid routine for SPU. Back to the beam. This is Maddie Dagan. Maddie is just a sophomore, but she was very consistent as a freshman last year on beam.
That's right, she's only a sophomore, wow.
Beautiful series. Maddie did a great job last year stepping up as a freshman for the Beavs, and I expect we will see some great things from her this year as well. She has a fairly short routine. Getting ready for the dismount here. Small hop, but great routine. Very solid score for the Beavs there.
Yeah, just that small hop there on the dismount, really. And anchoring on the vault for the ladies, this is Camille Bay Austin.
Let's go, B, back in it! Let's go, Monty, make it happen!
Yurchenko half twist. Nicely done. Just that little bit of pike in the air and then the big step on the landing.
On the floor here for SPU, this is Alex Pierce. Front double twist for opening pass. Leap series. Again, we saw Alex on the beam earlier today. She had a great routine there as well. Getting ready for her second pass. Oh, little short there, didn't have quite enough power to land that. Good finish for Alex there. Did take a fall though on that last tumbling pass.
Oh, sounds like, speaking of beam songs, sounds like Mela must be up.
Mela will be anchoring for the Beavs tonight.
She's coming off of a strong season last year where she was an All-American on this event. I believe she scored 9.9 at NCAAs, maybe? I'm not sure. High enough for All-American status, though. Oh!
Yeah, she changed that this year.
That's new.
I noticed that in the first meet. Actually, in their exhibition, she did it as well. She normally does a back handspring step out, layout step out, but she's changed it to a 2-foot layout this year.
Yeah. Mela has such presence on beam. Just makes me smile watching her.
Yeah, she always looks very calm, calm and composed on beam, which is not always easy to do, and she does it very well.
Nice dismount there. Aerial to layout full.
And she's very excited about that. Stick there for the Beavs.
That was a strong beam rotation for her first home meet.
We will also be seeing an exhibition from the Beavs on beam. Vault has finished their rotation. And on floor, this is Kayla Chan for SPU.
Kayla heading into her first tumbling pass. A ruby to straddle jump. Nicely done. Do you know what events Katiana coaches for
I
SPU?
heard she was coaching beam this year,
Primarily?
mostly.
A little bit off balance there on her second tumbling pass.
Kayla is a sophomore, and it's our first time seeing her out on the floor tonight.
Last tumbling pass here. Layout front full. A little bit of extra steps on the landing there. Joe just will take a deduction for that.
So we have one routine left for SPU on the floor and one exhibition on beam left for the Beavers.
An exhibition on beam, this is Leslie Gonzalez.
You didn't hear the announcer there, this is Lexi Gonzalez.
Lexi is a junior from Newport Beach, California. Oh, she's a wildfire athlete. There's been several Beaver gymnasts from that club in California.
She missed her connection there.
I think she will do something to make it up. Let's see what she pulls out.
Yeah, the gymnasts require a connected series on the beam, and if they miss a connection, they often will do a backup series instead.
Kick over front there, a little bit of a bobble. The aerial cartwheel to front full, I feel like that's gained a lot of popularity in college gymnastics the last, I don't know, 5 years maybe. Didn't used to see that dismount as often.
Replay there on the dismount.
And hopping over to floor for the Falcons, this is Darian Burns. First pass, front tuck to double pike. Makes it look pretty easy.
Darian is a senior, and she will be doing the all-around tonight.
And Darian actually won this event as a freshman at the USA Gymnastics National Championship. Darian's doing a great job with her choreography, performing for the audience, getting them involved in her routine. Nice double tuck from Darian. Strong routine.
That concludes our third rotation. The fourth and final rotation sees Seattle Pacific on vault, Centenary on uneven bars, and Oregon State to floor. Your time warm-up will begin in 2 minutes.
Like the announcer just said, that was the end of the third rotation. We're on to the fourth and final rotation. The Bees will be on floor. Seattle SPU will be on vault, and Centenary College will be on bars.
And the Beavs are on the floor for the fight song, as tradition demands. The alumni band doing an excellent job with the fight song. So the Beavs will be looking to build on their strong beam performance. We don't have any scores to run through yet, but I think these teams are ready for the final rotation. Ooh, who do you think is going to do the OSU after ISIS graduates? Any bets?
Maybe Nia.
Oh, okay, yeah.
She's pretty energetic, pretty outgoing. I could see her doing it.
Yeah.
Gymnastics time warm-up begins now.
And we're looking at a vault package for Centenary College on the last rotation. This is Jenny Jackson, Yurchenko layout. So that'll be a lower start value than the vaults we saw performed earlier. Another Yurchenko layout from Leilani Johnson. A tuck full from Kendall Hutt. And that Yurchenko half that we did catch earlier from Kamibe Austin.
Another replay here, that's Isis on the beam.
All right, fans, let's get warmed up for our final rotation this afternoon. We got some more t-shirts for you, but if you want some of that cotton, you gotta get loud.
This is freshman Jenna Domingo. And Lacey Dagan. Lacey, yeah, she had that balance check on her back handspring back layout. Really nice dismount though. And Maddie Dagan with her dismount. And that new acro series from Mela.
That was Lexi exhibitioning, her dismount. Good beam rotation for the Bees.
So just waiting for the judges to be ready. I saw a green flag on vault, so Alex Pierce will be headed down the runway for SPU. Saw Alex's vault there in the left corner. That was a Yurchenko layout. So a lower start value, but want to go for the clean landing and good form in the air. If you don't have that 10.0 or 995 start value.
Good first meet for Alex as a freshman
Yeah.
from SPU. She competed on 3 events, I believe. Little bit of a delay here getting started on the floor.
Looks like the judges are conferencing. Not quite sure what they're discussing. And on vault, this will be Delaney Fields. Yeah, I'm curious what the delay is on floor. You can see Christina in the corner there, jumping around, staying warm. It can be difficult when there's a delay on the judge's end. You're ready to compete, but you've got to stay focused, keep your energy up, stay warm, and just wait for the judges.
Yeah, especially when you're later in the lineup, you really have to move around and stay warm for your routine.
And presenting on vault, Delaney Fields. Ooh. Uh-oh. So there Delaney did the Yurchenko entry onto the vault, but didn't do the rotation off of the vault apparatus. Not sure what the judges will do with that, but SPU will certainly be looking to drop her score.
Looks like we're almost ready to start on floor here. Not quite sure what the delay was for. Christina Peterson up on the floor. First pass here for Christina. Beautiful double back.
That was really nice.
Christina has a new floor routine this year, and she's very excited to show it off. Nice front layout to front full. Very clean so far. Nice leap series. Really fun dance, getting ready for her last tumbling pass. And a double pike. Had to take a little bit of a step forward, but great double pike. Great way to start off for the Beavs.
Yeah, that was a good routine from Christina. Quite a bit improved from the performances we saw last year when she was exhibitioning. Another look at that gorgeous opening double tuck. And a nice second pass there, front layout to front full. And Christina is a sophomore from north of here in Washington. There's that bit of a low chest and step forward on her last pass, but otherwise a very nice routine.
This is Kayla Chan on the vault. Actually, really nice stick there for her.
Nice. You saw her do the front handspring onto the vault rather than the typical Yurchenko.
Seeing Maddie there, talking to Coach Tanya, getting ready for her floor routine.
Ooh, I wonder what Maddie's new floor routine is.
Looks like a 9.75 for Christina on floor.
Okay, and here goes Maddie. Maddie's first pass, nice front double twist. Pretty leap series there. Front layout, front full. A little bit of a stutter feet there on the landing. So that will be deduction. Judges are looking for very clean landings, chest up on floor. Bit of a breather there before Maddie's last pass. double pike. Nicely done. And a new floor routine for Maddie, too. There's Maddie's opening front double twist again.
Very nice double pike. Huge height and great landing. Just had a front handspring double twist on vault, which is very unusual vault.
Huh.
That was Lena Worth, senior from SPU. On vault that we missed. This is Kemi Bea Austin from Centenary College, preparing for her bar routine.
And Savannah Force has presented to the judges and is in her starting position on floor.
Savannah has a beautiful routine. She has really great lines and has competed floor every year for the Beavs. Great height on her tumbling.
Well, you've already seen all these floor routines at the exhibition.
I have. I've already seen them once. Second pass here. Another front load to front full. It's pretty common second pass. Savannah getting ready for her last tumbling pass. Beautiful double back.
Really solid last pass there.
Solid routine. Great job for Sav, and the Bees are excited about that routine. Replay here on that first double pike.
She'll want to show a little bit more control on the landing for the double pike, but otherwise beautiful in the air. On vault, exhibitioning for SPU is Shelby Spivey.
That was a Yurchenko layout for Shelby in exhibition for SPU. And looks like SPU is the first team to finish the meet. They're all done on vault.
And yeah, the vault goes so quick. If we get a chance later, we'll show you a vault package. Oh, this might be it right now. I believe that was Alex Pierce.
Next up on floor for the Beavs is Destiny Davis.
And Destiny is one of those 8 seniors. I had to double check. I was like, is she really a senior already? Yes.
She is part of that large senior class. Beautiful double pike. I heard from Destiny that she was very excited about her new floor music and her new routine this year. But it's a very different style from routines she's had in past years. She's had much more upbeat, upgoing music, and she was very excited about this routine. Another front layout from full. Well done for Destiny. Oh, a little short there on that double back, but she did save it.
Destiny Davis on floor exercise.
Replay here. Beautiful first pass.
Nice second pass there too. A little form break, leg separation there on the front layout full.
And this third pass was a little bit low. Can't see it great with that angle, but she did. She did take a step forward. Beeves have 2 more routines on floor, and Centenary has 2 more routines on bars. The Beavers will also have an exhibition routine on floor. Really taking advantage of those exhibition spots while they can during the regular season to get all the girls as much experience as they can.
Also, yeah, helps the coaches see more athletes and how they perform in that competition setting and make the decision about next week's lineup.
Yeah, exhibition spot is a great spot to try and make your way into the lineup or back into the lineup and prove that you can do a solid routine.
Exercise for the Beavers, this is Isis Lowry.
And here's senior Isis Lowry.
Isis is just such a crowd pleaser. She really gets the crowd involved. Always has had very, very fun routines.
Ooh, pretty front double twist from Isis. You see the team there dancing with her, doing the floor choreography.
Second pass here for Isis.
Those are the kind of landings that we want to see.
Very fun routine and great tumbling so far. Getting ready for the last pass here.
Crowd responding there.
Crowd is excited.
Oh, yeah, classic worm there from Isis. Oh, Gil loved that routine.
Great routine for the Beavs. Everyone is really excited about that one.
All right, well, Isis has done a great job of setting up anchor, Caitlin Yanish. Did she keep her routine?
Caitlin actually has the same routine she had last year.
I do like that routine. Okay, yay, her first pass. Oh, so good. Huge double layout.
Caitlin actually got a new routine and decided to stick with the old one.
Oh, interesting.
But I love this routine.
Yeah.
She does it so well. Beautiful second pass. Caitlin has done just a phenomenal job for the Beavs on floor her entire career so far.
Yeah, she's so powerful, so springy. Makes that very difficult double layout, her first tumbling pass, look effortless.
She really makes it look very easy for a very difficult tumbling pass.
Yeah. And then her last pass here, an open double tuck. Most athletes have to pull that tuck in to get smaller so that they can rotate faster and make the flips around. Well, not Caitlin.
And Gil just loved that routine as well. That'll be another high-scoring routine for the Beavers. Great, great way to finish the first home meet.
And anchoring for Centenary College over on bars is Deanne Baumgartner. Giant full there into her double tuck dismount.
Diane Baumgartner completing her bars routine. Caitlin Yanis just
And that was the
finishing up
last
on floor
routine
the
for Centenary College. We're almost done here. Just one more exhibition routine from the Beavers on floor. Some replay there on Caitlin's routine. It's going to be a high one. Another 9.925.
That's exciting. Well deserved too. It's a beautiful floor routine.
Beavs definitely finished very strong on the floor tonight.
Yeah.
2 9.925s back to back. This is Nia Mack, exhibitioning on the floor for the Beavers.
First tumbling pass here. Front layout to Rudy. Nice required leap series there.
Exhibitioning on floor is always sometimes a tough spot. She exhibitioned on vault and then had to wait through 3 rotations to get to compete again. So she has to stay warm and be ready to go. Very last gymnast of the meet.
Yeah. Nice double pike.
Very fun and engaging dance again from this routine. The team's just having a blast on the sidelines. Great exhibition routine. Great finish for the Beavs tonight.
That will conclude our competition.
Yeah, the Beavers really did a good job. Kind of got off to a slow start on vault and especially bars, but beam and floor, they came back and showed that they're ready to rock it this 2020 season. Some highlights here from Mia's routine. We'll see if we get any scores here.
We have scores from the third rotation now. Like we said, Beeves got a 49.0 on the balance beam for total team score. Destiny Davis got a 9.725. Isis Lowry got a 9.875. Jenna Domingo with a 9.6. Lacey Dagan with a 9.725. Maddie Dagan with a 9.825. And Mayla Lazaro with a 9.85.
I think we won't wait around here for the scores, but just wanted to say thank you for joining us this afternoon as we watch the Beeves SPU and Century compete for the first time in Gill this season. And next week, the Beeves will be headed to Sacramento, where they'll compete against Sac State and first Pac-12 meet of the year versus Arizona. So another three-way meet for the Beeves. And they'll be looking to build off of their performance from this afternoon. Anything to add, Sil?
No, thanks for tuning in. I hope you enjoyed today's first meet in Gill Coliseum.
Go Beeves!
It's time for our awards ceremony. Before we get started, the Oregon State Gymnastics team would like to thank the Rotary Club of Greater Corvallis for volunteering their time at each and every home gymnastics meet. Give them a round of applause, everyone, and thank you so much, Rotarians. We have Chloe, Mackenzie, and Kylie helping us out with the flowers for our awards ceremony tonight. Thank you as well, ladies. And here we go, starting with the individual results on vault. We have a tie for third with scores of 9.80 from Seattle Pacific, Lena Worth. And from Oregon State, Maddie Dagan. Placing second on the vault with a score of 9.825 from Oregon State, Lacey Dagan. And our top performer on vault this afternoon with a score of 9.85 from Oregon State, Caitlin Yanish. Ladies and gentlemen, your top performers on vault. On to the uneven parallel bars, where we also have a tie for third place with scores of 9.725 from Seattle Pacific, Darian Burns. And from Oregon State, Colette Yamaoka. Placing second on bars with a score of 9.775 from Oregon State, Alyssa Minier. And our top performer on bars with a score of 9.85 from Oregon State, Hallie Briscoe. Fans, these are your top performers on uneven parallel bars. Onto the balance beam in third place with a score of 9.825 from Oregon State, Maddie Dagan. Placing second on the beam with a score of 9.85 from Oregon State, Mela Lazaro. And placing first on the beam with a score of 9.875 from Oregon State, Isis Lowry. Ladies and gentlemen, your top performers on beam. For the floor exercise, placing third with a score of 9.85 from Oregon State, Savannah Force. And we have a tie for the top spot on the floor today, both with scores of 9.925 from Oregon State, Caitlin Yanish. And from Oregon State, Isis Lowry. Ladies and gentlemen, your top performers on floor exercise. On to the all-around performers, placing third in the all-around with a score of 36.50 from Centenary, Kendall Huff. We have a tie for the top spot in the all-around performers with scores of 36.775 from Seattle Pacific, Darian Burns. And from Centenary, Cammie B. Austin. Ladies and gentlemen, your top all-around performers today. And finally, the team standings, placing third with a score of 182.625, the Centenary Ladies. Taking second at 189.025, the Seattle Pacific Falcons. And winning the meet with a score of 195.325, your Oregon State Beavers. Thank you so much for attending today's meet, everyone. We'll see you back here on Sunday, February 2nd at 1 p.m. when we take on Stanford. Please drive safely on your way home. And don't forget, kids, if you're down in the corners, as soon as our gymnasts leave the floor, head on out for the dance party.
Watch me, nay-nay. Why me do it? Now watch me whip. Good. Watch me, nay-nay. Okay. Now watch me whip. Watch me, nay-nay. Can you do it? Now watch me. Ooh. Watch me. Watch me. Ooh. Watch me. Watch me. Ooh. Watch me. Watch me. Ooh. Okay. Okay. Ooh. Watch me. Watch me. Ooh. Watch me. Watch me. You do. Watch me. Watch me. You do. Okay. Ooh. Do the stanky leg. 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 Bop, 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 bop. Watch me, nay, nay. Now watch me whip. Watch me, nay, nay.